Rugby World Cup 2023, folks. Pool D, Samoa up against Chile. First game for the Samoans this Rugby World Cup. Chile coming off the back of a early loss to Japan. We're going to go through the squads, some stats, predictions, and you guys can let us know your thoughts on how this one is going to go. Two sides which don't usually play each other. They've never met in Test rugby, so that is going to be a first. So for all of you folks heading to the game, it's that kind of little bit of extra history, which is always kind of a cool thing. Chile, I thought, looked pretty good against Japan. They certainly like to chuck the ball around. They're a very entertaining team to watch, but they were bullied a bit by the Japanese pack and their maul. And I expect maybe Samoa to go down that route as well. I remember we've got Samoa, who are the 11th ranked team in the world, against the 22nd ranked Chile. There's a big difference in their pack weights. Samoa have picked a strong team. They are not taking the Chileans lightly at all. I mean, James Lees, Talala Lam, and Michael Alaalatoa, that's pretty much the same forward pack that started against Ireland just before the World Cup got underway, except for the fact that Alaalatoa was on the bench for that game. So Alo-Emile and him swap spots. Alaalatoa is captain as well. I expect these guys to try and push the Chileans around the park. Chris Vu and Theo McFarland, that's a very athletic-looking second row. I mean, if you guys have seen Theo McFarland play, the guy's incredible. Line-out steals, offloads, tackles, big carries. He is just insane. If you saw that kind of Rugby World Cup preview we did with Chris Robshaw and Sergio Parise, he singled out, I think it was Robshaw singled out Theo McFarland as one of the guys to watch because he is genuinely an excitement machine. Tilani Seo, Fritz Lee, and Stephen Luatua, that is your back row. Fritz Lee is maybe the one who doesn't get the most kind of plaudits, but he's a proper tackling machine. Taumatene and Leali'ifano is your 9-10. There was a little bit of, I guess, a flip of a coin as to whether you go Leali'ifano or do you go for Sopoaga. Remember, Leali'ifano had more time with the Samoans than Sopoaga did in terms of the Pacific Nations Cup and the Rugby World Cup pre-tournament kind of campaign, all the warm-ups. Leali'ifano was much more involved, so maybe they're going for a little bit more of that than a little bit more of the youth on Sopoaga's side. I mean, these guys are both in their 30s, but you know what I mean. Tamua Madu and Sotini, that is a heck of a midfield. Expect them to try and cut some holes into the Chilean defense. Tamua Madu, I mean, he's a proper tackle-busting, can play in the midfield, can play on the wings. Maybe a good pick for your fantasy side. Check out his stats before you do anything. And then Saltini for La Rochelle. You guys will know all about him. Danny Tawala comes in on the right wing. Ah-Wong on the left. And then Zanko Paia'aua, who will be pretty familiar to French fans. Maybe more of a midfielder, but once again called upon to start this game at 15 like he did against Ireland. So kind of a dual playmakers thing with him being a guy at 15. Malolo, Lay, and Alo-Emile, that's your front row replacements. Look for Malolo coming on from the bench to try and get some more tries. Sam Slade, also a work rate replacement lock, maybe a very different player from the likes of a McFarland. Sam Slade just likes to tackle, and less kind of X-factor than McFarland, but certainly a good player. Jordan Taufua, Inari, Sopoaga, and Fido are your backs, and one forward replacement. So 3 backs on the bench, the 5 forwards. Kind of more of a standard pick for them. For the Chileans, they've kept things pretty stable from the side that played against Japan. The only changes they've made are they've brought in Santiago Pedrero from the bench, who gets a start in the second row. Clemente Saavedra switches to the back row for this one, the number 7 jersey. Remember, he beat like 5 defenders in that game against Japan. Raimundo Martínez switches to number 8. And they've got José Ignacio Larenas, who comes up from the bench to start on the left wing. All the other spots, and the hooker as well. Tomas Ducelant is getting a start. Maybe a bit of a, I read that he's a bit of a more sizable hooker, less kind of mobile, so maybe trying to beef up the pack a little bit with the Samoans on the cards. I mean, other individuals, Inaki Ayarza, the fullback, he looked deadly against Japan. He had 2 clean breaks, beat 6 defenders, and had 66 meters. So you can bet the Samoans will be doing the homework on him. Also, Marcelo Torrealba, the halfback, really loves a wee snipe. They'll have to be mindful of him. He got 59 meters, a clean break, and beat 3 defenders. And then Martínez, the number 8, tackling machine. So yeah, you feel like these guys are going to have to be on form against Samoa. And also congratulations to Benjamin Videla, who's going to get his test debut in a Rugby World Cup match, which is not a bad way to get it done. There's a big difference in weight, man. The Samoan pack is 937 kilos. The Chileans is 891. So there's a good bit of Samoan beef in that pack, which is going to look, as I said, to potentially bully the Chilean guys around, although the Chilean side is younger with an average age of 27, whereas the Samoans are kind of closer to 30. Remember, there's a few kind of former All Blacks there who are, like myself, not a former All Black, but on the wrong side of 30, that's for sure. So who knows, man, if the Chileans can play some up-tempo game, they might be able to run the Samoan guys around the park, but potentially the Samoans just look to bulldoze straight over them. It is on at Bordeaux. I think it's a 3 p.m. local kickoff. I did read somewhere it was 2 p.m., but it's 1 a.m. here in New Zealand, which I think is 3 p.m. in France. Check that yourself just in case. New Zealander Paul Williams is the ref. 1 a.m. I'm probably going to watch this one on delay. I've got a little bit of a cold, so I'm probably going to rest up and watch this one after the piece. I will try and avoid spoilers as much as I can. Predictions-wise, Chileans aren't being given much of a shot. They are predicted to lose to Samoa by 33 points, according to the bookies, and 29 according to the Rugby Forecast algorithm. So, yeah, man, Chile plays some really exciting rugby. I look forward to seeing them have a crack, and it's great to see Samoa in their first game. You guys let us know your thoughts on how this one is going to go. Hopefully it's fine. Not too hot, but yeah, you guys let us know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.